This is your rental market update for Nashville, Tennessee, March 2025. So as I was deep diving into Nashville, really excited to jump into learn more about this region. There's a lot of people going there. As you know, there's an incredible amount of folks are moving there. So it was exciting to move into the research and get a load of the numbers. The Nashville MSA is comprised of 14 counties. Right now, Nashville's primary economic driver is its explosive population growth. The MSA has seen growth of over 27% since 2010. And they're currently over, which I didn't realize there were this many people there. There's over 2 million people living in the Nashville area. And Nashville is really desirable with regards to unemployment. When you look at what is going on there, the unemployment rate really speaks for itself. It's hovering below 4%, 3.7%. Some measures it's even in the 2%. The major industries in Nashville include healthcare management, automobile production, finance, higher education, insurance, music production, printing and publishing, technology manufacturing, and of course, tourism and their wonderful cultural scene. I wanted to take a moment to talk to you about our webinar that covers exit strategies for owners of appreciated rental real estate. You see, when we sit down with folks, generally they've owned these properties for 5, 10, even 30 years. And what they tell us is that they're just tired. They're tired of the telephone calls. They're tired of the toddlers, the termites, the taxes, the terrible teas. You've heard it before. And so they want to know what their options are. There's a lot of information out there on the internet, and a lot of it's untrustworthy. So that's why I created a 60-minute, easy-to-watch webinar that covers your exit strategies if you own highly appreciated rental real estate. So if you have questions and you're looking for some of the fundamental options, register. It's easy to register. Just go to rentalownerworkshop.com, rentalownerworkshop.com. It's an hour-long pre-recorded webinar. You can watch it from the comfort of your home. If you have any questions through the program, you can actually submit your questions, and then we'll follow up with you. After you register, we'll follow up with you with a telephone call or an email just to see if we might be able to give you some additional information. So rentalownerworkshop.com. Hope to see you there. Amazon, Bridgestone Tires, Cracker Barrel Old Country Store, gotta love Cracker Barrel, Dollar General Corp, iHeartMedia, Mitsubishi Motors, Nissan North America, St. Thomas Health, Tractor Supply, and Vanderbilt University. Non-farm employment has increased by 21,500 jobs. The largest increases were in government, mining, logging, and construction, and leisure and hospitality. Now, I will say there have been some layoffs as of late, and we'll see maybe on our next update for Nashville how that will affect the economy long term. I did some research in Reddit, and there were a lot of complaints about wages in Nashville. And those are justified. The Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce put out a report that said month-over-month income has dropped 7%. Now, I don't know if that's just a blip on the radar or if that's going to be a long-term issue, but certainly something to keep an eye on. However, on the flip side of that, there's other reports for this one I got that says Nashville is a leading tech hub with major investments from Oracle and Amazon, creating over 13,000 jobs. Median tech salaries exceed $84,000, which is 70% higher than the non-tech roles, contributing about $7.5 billion to the economy. So certainly, as some of the higher tech companies move into the area, they of course are going to bring some of those higher paying jobs, and we've seen that in other MSAs in the past. The median income in Nashville is currently, which is pretty good, currently at $80,034. So not a bad median income for that part of the country. And the unemployment rate, it's solid, 3.7%. So say what you will about the economy, the people in Tennessee are working, that's for sure. Let's talk about expenses. If you own property as an investor, what does that expense look like? Tennessee has one of the lowest tax burdens in the U.S., which is why a lot of people are drawn there. There's no income tax at all in Tennessee. Property taxes are also extremely low, 0.58%, some of the lowest in the country, which is why folks are really flocking there as well. Insurance rates, they're about average. They're $258 higher in Tennessee, according to Bankrate. Basically, what that means is they're $258 a year for the average $300,000 home in Tennessee. That's not extremely higher. That's not lower. It's about average. Challenge with Tennessee, of course, on the insurance side is tornadoes are a threat in Tennessee, especially in spring and summer months. The state saw, according to this article, 53 twisters in 2023, according to III data, which killed, unfortunately, 17 people. That's really sad. Parts of the volunteer state have also have a moderate or high risk of flooding, and the western part of Tennessee carries a high earthquake risk, which I didn't know about. I went and did some research on utility costs, and based on move.org, utility costs are about average, with Tennessee being ranked 16 from highest to lowest of all states. Interestingly enough, I was surprised to hear that West Virginia had the highest weighted utility rates in the country, even beating out Hawaii, which is known for having very, very high costs. So let's talk about the legislative situation. Is Nashville a landlord-friendly or a landlord-foe state? Well, my research says that it's pretty good to be a landlord in Tennessee and in the Nashville area. One, there is no rent control. Tennessee does not impose rent control laws, allowing landlords to set and increase rents freely. Number two, there's fast eviction process. For non-payment of rent, landlords can issue a 14-day notice to pay or quit. For other lease violations, a 14-day notice to remedy or quit is standard, and for certain severe infractions, a 3-day notice may apply. So you don't have to give a 30-day notice or a 60-day notice, or like the market I've come from, a 60-day notice plus paying 3 months worth of rent if you're going to evict someone. Let's face it, bad tenants sometimes have to go. Security deposit flexibility. There is no statutory limit on the amount landlords can charge for security deposits. That's also good news. No statewide rental licensing. In other words, Tennessee does not require landlords to obtain a statewide rental license, simplifying the process of renting out properties. Landlord-friendly lease terms. Landlords have the discretion to set lease terms with minimal statutory restrictions and limited habitability requirements. While landlords must maintain habitable conditions, tenant remedies for repairs are limited, and tenants cannot withhold rent for necessary repairs. All of these items to say, yes, Tennessee is a landlord-friendly state. Amen to that. So let's talk about the housing market. Nashville's multifamily, we'll start with multifamily. Nashville's multifamily market is seeking stabilization amid a record-setting wave of supply inundating the area. So all of the building in the last couple of years, at least on the apartment side in Nashville, means that a lot of supply has hit the market, and that has certainly dropped or caused the capitalization rates to stabilize, as well as you're seeing that vacancy rates are on the rise. Continued population growth, a resilient job market, and a flight to quality have unlocked demand for multifamily housing not seen since 2021. Multifamily development has soared in Nashville. And if you're looking to invest, that's going to be a good thing because you're going to have a lot of opportunity to get in on that inventory. Nashville ranks third in the nation for the projected percentage inventory added in 2025. Now, let's talk about the single family. Nashville's housing inventory on the single family side remains tight, with approximately 3,000 active listings, down 4% from last year. This low supply fuels a competitive market, often leading to multiple offer situations, especially in high demand neighborhoods. Also, we've got good news on the interest rate front right now. Current interest rates are dipping to the mid 6% range, which is going to fuel this 2025 spring market. So let's jump into the real estate rental market stats. Of course, we have an unemployment rate of 3.7%, in the Nashville MSA. That is an incredible unemployment rate. And as long as that thing stays low, you are going to have a demand for rental housing. Total population, as I mentioned, just over 2 million. Population growth inclined 1.3% in the last 12 months. Median income around $80,000. The vacancy rate's a little bit high, but then again, I'm comparing it to Southern California standards. 11.9% vacancy throughout the area. Annual rent growth is pretty flat, interestingly enough, and that might have something to do with all of that inventory that's coming online. But the annual rent growth is minus 0.07%. So just around minus 1% annual rent growth. So rents are remaining relatively flat. I've got two different market asking rents. I always like to go to Zillow and then I go to CoStar, kind of get a sense for what single family are looking like and then what multifamily. You're looking around $1,700 to $2,200 a month for your average rents in the Nashville area. So that's not too bad. Renter demand, we'll call it neutral just because so much inventory is coming on the market, especially on the multifamily side. The number of listings currently on the market on the single family side for Nashville is 3,069. The median sales price right now for a home in the Nashville MSA is $490,000. That's up about 6% since last year. Last year it was $460,000, so that'd be 2024. And then I went back to 2023 since I'm just starting to look at this market, which is the prices were $450,000. So you are seeing an increase in home values year over year in Nashville. Median days on market as of 2025, 56 days on market. So that's pretty good. You know, that's almost a buyer's market. That's not an extreme seller's market. So you're talking about a market where you could go in and be competitive and it would be an opportunity for you to get that sale. Let's talk about multifamily. Total number of units of multifamily units in Nashville area, 180,000 units. Our median list cap rate, so the list price cap rate going on market, 6.8% in Nashville. Currently, there's a total of 20 listings. In the last 90 days, there's been 22 sales. So there's not a lot of transaction volume or velocity in this marketplace. I did want to make note, the average building size is 81 units. Now, compared to some of the Southern California markets where I operate in, those are big numbers. You know, the average building size in San Diego County, for instance, you're looking at like 10 to 15 units. So 80 units means these are all larger properties, and the newer ones are probably Class A luxury institutional properties that are coming online. Median price per unit in Nashville today is $212,684. Now, there's been an incredible jump in the last 3 years. I went back to 2023, and I don't know if this was just a fluke, but it showed that our price per unit was $114,000. Last year, $206,000. So there's been a 6.7% increase in the last 12 months for price per unit. Median days on market, 134 days on market. What that tells me is that if you're looking for multifamily in an environment that has a 3.7% unemployment rate that's very landlord friendly, you might want to go take a look at the Nashville MSA, because 134 days on the market means that those buildings are not moving quickly. So here's my final thoughts on the Nashville rental market update. With its rich cultural scene, strong jobs numbers, landlord-friendly environment, and overbuilt apartment market, the Nashville MSA is a target-rich environment for institutional and independent investors, big and small. The aspect that really makes this market shine amongst all the other markets that are out there are the favorable tax environment there. That's my March 2025 rental market update for Nashville, Tennessee. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And in the comments, go ahead and tell me where you want me to do my next deep dive into one of America's best rental markets. I'm Doug Tabor. We'll talk to you soon.